Hi guys, this is Sienna Gang. Today I'm gonna make the kimchi stew. For 2-3 people, I prepared 700 milliliters of water. Cut the green onion in half, then cut them about 3 centimeters in length. Cut the onion in half and slice them, but not too thin. It doesn't really matter if you cut them in cubes. Cut however you like your onion. Onion makes the kimchi stew sweeter and more delicious. I use farm tofu and I like them in big cubes. Prepare about 300 to 400 grams of whatever cut of pork you want. Pork belly, shoulder blade, ground pork are all good for the stew. Like tofu, cut them in not too small of a chunk. I use frozen shoulder blade. I find meat with a bit of fat content to be more tender and delicious than the lean cuts. Now it's time for kimchi. Kimchi is the most important component of the kimchi stew, as the name suggests. The whole stew's taste depends on it. If you followed everything and if the stew doesn't taste right, blame the kimchi. If kimchi tastes a bit sour, then it is just right for the kimchi stew. Sour doesn't mean it went bad. Please don't throw away your kimchi and make them into stews. Anyway, I took out some leftover kimchi from my fridge. It was just time for the kimchi to be used for the stew. Now it's time to stir fry the kimchi. Use a tablespoon of vegetable oil and stir fry your kimchi. Actually, stir frying with sesame oil tastes really good, but unfortunately, high heat and sesame oil creates carcinogen. So now I only add them a bit after finishing stir frying. If the kimchi tastes too sour, then add a tablespoon of sugar and stir fry with the meat. When the kimchi turns yellowish, add the pork and continue stir frying. When the meat is almost done cooking, add the 700 milliliters of water we prepared. When the stew starts to boil, add a tablespoon of salted shrimp. If you don't have salted shrimp, you can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Add a tablespoon of ground garlic, and I add fine chili pepper powder for color. If you don't have chili pepper powder, you can skip this part. Actually, using anchovy broth or beef broth instead of water brings out more flavor and adds depth to the stew, but using just water is still sufficient. Now add the tofu, onion and simmer down the stew for about 5 minutes. You can add salt and sugar for taste, but I don't add them though. I love tofu so much, I put the entire pack in the stew. Finally, finish off with green onions and boil it for the next 1 to 3 minutes. Now, a delicious, authentic kimchi stew is ready. If you have a leftover kimchi in the fridge, please give it a try. Bye guys!